Welcome once again to a beautiful afternoon in South Florida, more specifically in the city of Boca Raton. Welcome to all of you who are able to watch this video blog. My subject today is about something very practical, which unfortunately seems to be being lost among us. I don't know whether it is limited only to the United States or possibly most of the world. I'm speaking about letter writing. There was a time, as you know, when people waited even months before the Suez Canal, people who lived in the Far East, waiting for a letter coming from Europe or the United States of America, had to wait for months. But what a rejoicing they had once that expected letter reached them. Today, of course, things are much easier with the use of all of the electronic devices. And yet, as you probably perceive, so much is lost in the process. Those electronic devices, especially little notes, become only that. They can be repeated many times, but there is a lack of some passion and some personal involvement with the one to whom the letter is being written. Many years ago, when I resided in California, I went to visit a medical doctor, a friend of mine, who was receiving treatment for cancer in a hospital. And in the course of one of our visits, he made reference to the fact of how grateful he was to all of those people who came to his bedside to visit him and to bring some cheer. And yet he expressed an even greater satisfaction for those who wrote to him. And to demonstrate that, he pulled out a card from someone that was a friend common to him and to me as well. And he said, "Just read this card. When I feel discouraged, when visits don't appear, when new mail doesn't arrive, I can always go back to this card and reread the message." And as I read it, I could guarantee that it was indeed a most beautiful message that would bring gladness to the heart of anyone who would have received it. My saying these things is simply to remind all of you who view me that it pays to try to restore the habit of letter writing rather than merely signing your name to a pre-printed card or a somewhat impersonal message in one of our social media. All of these things have their place, and they are not to be eliminated. They have good use, and they can benefit all of us who utilize these methods. But letter writing can still be a blessing to many, as well as to the one who writes it. As you well know, many books have been composed of letters that have been written, whether to a man, from a man to his lover, even before they got married and after they got married. President Ronald Reagan is famous for letters that he wrote to his beloved wife, even when they resided in the same city. And even then, he inspired countless people who read those letters. Their hearts were warmed as the heart of the receiver was warmed. Recently, I was reading from a friend in one of his books, and he says a letter's impact always exceeds the writer's. And that is so true. Keep that in mind and be a letter writer in addition to whatever other methods you may utilize to communicate with other people. Thank you so much, and until the next time, bye-bye.